In this video, I'm restoring this 1963 Raleigh Superbe on a budget. This classic beauty doesn't need to cost a fortune to shine again. With a little elbow grease and a lot of patience, you can bring it back to life without breaking the bank. The frame on this bike, although dirty, was in excellent condition. So the first thing I had to do was strip it down and give it a thorough clean. Once the framework and all the components are clean, we're ready for the fun part, the rebuild. So the bike stand the hinge pin was actually damaged and it's half hanging out on this one, so I've removed that one. I drilled it out to 6mm and put in a roll pin. That's a spring loaded roll pin, and that seems to work okay. That seems even though the dry cell unit is not working on this bike, I'm going to keep it on there because it's all part of the bike's history and it helps to show its age. So when I got this bike, it had odd length cranks, so I've sourced these. These are actually from off a Raleigh Superbe bike, so they're not original, but they'll do the job. So on the undersides of the mudguards, it's quite exposed metal and a bit rusty. I was recommended this stuff. I've never used it before, so I can't vouch for it. This is the first time using it. But you just spray it on, and it took about a week to dry in my shed. It's quite cold, so if it was in the summertime, it'd probably be only a few days. On these bits here, more exposed bits, I'm just going to use the boiled linseed oil. Just going to put it on with a rag and just wipe it on. So this should, after a few days, should dry off and give a nice rust-proof finish. So these Raleigh brake cables are getting quite hard to get hold of. The front one was actually broken or starting to fray. So what I did, I cut the end off. I made a little plaster Paris mould of that end piece with a new brake cable and a little bit of electrical solder. I made up a new end piece. It's not perfect, I'm not sure how long it'll hold for, but I thought it was worth a try just so I could keep hold of the original cable. So that's my first ride out on the bike, and she's working really nicely. Oh, I just need to fiddle around with the saddle a little bit. It's a little bit cramped. I think I need to move the saddle a little bit further back. Apart from that, the brakes are still working well. She changes gear nicely. It's a very nice smooth ride. So how much did a project bike like this cost to complete? Well, the initial cost of the bike was £30. I had to source some spare parts. So the toggle chain indicator was the hardest bit to find. They're very rare now. Again, this is a 4-speed Sturmley Archer. Quite hard to get hold of. I had to actually buy that as a part of a wheel set that was going spare. So the whole wheel set was £20. The chain and all the bearings were still in good condition. I just needed cleaning up, re-greasing, and just put back onto the bike. There's nothing wrong with them at all. The pedals, these came off the BSA that I bought a few weeks ago, just for spare parts, as they look quite vintage. They went on nicely, look nice condition. And so the biggest expense on this bike was the actual saddle itself. I wanted to get a Brooks saddle. I saw this come up on eBay. It was £40, which I think is quite a bargain for one of these saddles. So all in all, the spend on this bike has been about £120. But you've got to bear in mind I've still got the other bike that I purchased just for the pedals, which I can strip and sell for spares, and I'm pretty sure the actual total cost for this bike, once I've sold those spares, will be well under £100. So for a nice little project, under £100, I'm pretty pleased with that. Thank you for watching.